Okay, we're gonna refresh here. Select stream, refresh. There it is. All right, I'm gonna go top chat, all chat, live chat. Hello, chat again. All right, now I'm gonna go over to, like, it's working, right? This time it's working. I'm like, the last time kind of sucked. It had no sound. All right, this sounds like sound. All right, turn it up here, man. Let's see. Now I need to. Do I even want to broadcast this anymore? Right? Like, people don't care, right? Nah, forget it. I'm not gonna broadcast it. Fuck it. Fuck it. uh, I mean, I kind of should. Let me broadcast it, dude. Because, yeah, new post. All right. After sound problems, screwed the initial. Not screwed. Wrecked, diminished, dismantled, dismembered, messed up. Okay. Now I'm gonna get the share, copied, live stream. There it is. Post. Oh, it looks good. I have a thumbnail this time. Okay, and then I'm gonna put it over here on my Facebook. Same thing like that. Bam, bam, bam. Thank you. Thank you. Post. All right, it's going. Okay, it's going. So I'm using this Chinese shader called Iteration RP. You can't get it in the United States, like, legally. I guess, I don't know. Like, you can get it if you sign up for his on a Chinese website and give them your credit card information. So I don't know how that would work, but it turns out to be like $1.50 basically. And this is it, right? It doesn't have like glowing stuff. But it's interesting. The light's interesting. I wonder if it does depth of field. Oh shit. Anyways, I got a bunch of these shaders to see what they do, and the one that I think is the most interesting is this one, the Iteration RP, but you can only get it from a Chinese the Chinese stuff. So like it looks pretty different from Rethinking Voxels. Like way different, right? Like it's just kind of like it almost looks like flat light. It even doesn't even look that great. Oh wait, there's the sunlight. Ah, there's the sunrise. Okay. But yeah. So anyways, today Pam Bondi testified in the House Oversight Committee this morning, live even, and it was really interesting. Like it was hard for me to follow along because I'm at work, right? So it's pretty tough. But I caught bits and pieces of it, and for me, what was interesting was how inept Pam Bondi appeared to be. Like she was in way over her head type stuff. Let's grab the first one. This one here.
To the survivors in the room, if you are willing, please stand.
Oh damn. Oh damn. So these women are women that Jeffrey Epstein raped or sold into rape bondage or something. Like he trafficked all these girls, all these women. He trafficked these women. And they're coming forward, right? There's a bunch of them. There's a lot of them.
And if you are willing, please raise your hands if you have still not been able to meet with this Department of Justice.
So every one of those women there who were trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, they all say that happened. None of them have been interviewed by the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice headed by Attorney General Pam Bondi. So basically, Pam Bondi is protecting Jeffrey Epstein and his associates from justice. Because if she were interested in justice, she'd be like, oh, do you women have information you'd like to give to the Department of Justice that might help us solve some crimes? But she doesn't, because she's not there to stop child sex rings. She's not there to stop pedophilia. She's there to protect Donald Trump. Now here, watch, listen.
Please know for the record that every single survivor has raised their hand. Attorney General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
So, Pam Bondi, in her opening statement, already said, I apologize to the girls and the women who were trafficked and raped by Jeffrey Epstein. She already said it, right? But her Department of Justice hasn't interviewed these women. So she's saying, they're right there. Just turn around and look at them and say, hey, sorry for not interviewing you yet, right? She's there, if she's there to serve justice. So here's a perfect opportunity. They're right there. They're right there. Look. Let's look what Pam Bondi says. That right? Let's look what she says.
Congresswoman, you sat before Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
So what she's doing right now is looking through a book. The book she has in front of her was created by her staffers. They're all dirt, opposition research on every one of the Democrats who are going to ask her a question. So every time a Democrat asks her a question, she doesn't answer the question. She turns to her binder, to the section on that congresswoman or person, and then reads whatever it is that they wrote. So she was asked. So Pam Bondi, she's like, yo, Jayapa said, yo, you've got the Epstein survivors right here. You haven't interviewed them yet to get their story, get their information to further along your investigations. Do you want to take that opportunity right now? And she looked through her binder, looked up Jayapa, I can't say her name, and then it's gonna read whatever they wrote. Watch. Let me back up a little bit so you can see it. See her look through. She's gonna watch her look through her binder. She doesn't know yet, right? She has to look through her binder.
But your Department of Justice has put them through.
She's not even listening.
With the
She's looking through her binder.
Absolutely unacceptable
to
release
read what she's going to say to her.
Of the Epstein files and their information.
She found it. She's going to read it.
Congresswoman, you sat before
she looked down.
Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General Bondi.
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
that's
respond.
Not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer.
Time.
So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't she ask Merrick Garland this twice?
I'm reclaiming my time
and when
So instead of being like, oh, I can just turn around and like address them now, she's like, oh, Merrick Garland, some other guy.
I will continue to answer.
Mr. Chairman, the gentlelady has reclaimed her
I'm not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
The time belongs.
What? she's just reading these lines. These are practice lines.
The time belongs to the gentlelady. The gentlelady has 17 seconds.
Thank you. You're not going to answer this question, so let me just
Chairman,
say
I'll direct it to
what
you.
a massive cover-up.
No, I'm answering a question.
Chairman, will you restore her time? The witness is interrupted.
I'm not going to get in the gutter with this woman.
Up the time.
Oh, listen to her. I'm not going to get into the gutter with this woman. What? Pam Bondi has no idea what she's saying.
Doing theatrics.
Let me have my
The gentlelady.
Every time she's trying to talk, she's getting, it's called filibuster. So this is what's happening. This is the dynamic that's happening. Members have a certain amount of time to make their statements or to ask a question or whatever. Pam Bondi is a hostile witness to her, right? So Pam Bondi wants to eat up her time with nothing. Just eat it up. So she's trying to talk, and Pam Bondi is just trying to talk over her to eat up her time.
From Washington controls the time. The gentlelady has 17 seconds. You can proceed with your final 17 seconds.
What a massive cover-up this has been and continues to be. Donald Trump made the release of the Epstein files the center of his political campaign because he thought it would benefit him. Then you got into office, Attorney General, claimed to have a client list, only to then say that there was no list. Your deputy, Todd Blanche, met alone with Ghislaine Maxwell and transferred her to a minimum security prison. And now you continue the cover-up to the survivors in the room.
So, do you see how they basically ate up her time before she can make these statements? And that point of order was a Republican trying to interrupt her to get her to stop talking. Right? Do you see how like vicious it is? The whole thing? Whoa, what? It is vicious, dude. It's vicious. They're vicious. They were vicious and trying to stop her from getting any information out there, from using her time effectively. They're vicious. So here, watch this next one.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader.
So I think she was asked about the Epstein files. If she was gonna, if the Department of Justice was gonna pursue any of the connections in the Epstein files to stop the elite pedophile ring. That was the question. And Pam Bondi answered with the stock market. Attorney General Pam Bondi, the head of the Department of Justice, responded by quoting the stock market. The stock market.
The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and...
Look at her read that paper. She's just reading the paper.
Retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe.
She sounds like Donald Trump.
We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan.
Yeah, why is the Attorney General talking about the Dow? That's a good fucking question.
Mr. Jordan.
Committee will be in order.
Mr. Jordan, am I going to get an extra 45 seconds added to my time?
The committee will be in order. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas. Ms. Bondi, the Attorney General can respond.
Thank you. The Dow has shattered 50,000 for the first time. This is crazy. They said it couldn't be done in 4 years, yet President Trump has done it in 1 year.
So, Pam Bondi, are you going to go after any of the people on the Epstein list? And she's like, the Dow Jones! She reads this paper, the Dow Jones is doing great! and then Jim Jordan, the Republican chairman, is like, oh, she just ate up all your time. Sorry, bummer for you. He's not going to get any of that time back. She just ignored his question. So this is the House Oversight Committee. This is the House exercises oversight over these agencies, the Department of Justice, right? So the Department of Justice has to report to the House, and if the House doesn't like what they're doing, the House can take actions or demand that they do things, or just cut the funding so they have no money and they all lose their jobs. Like, well, you know, if you had like a responsible legislature, but we don't. We have like fucking insanity right now. Like, our government is so stupid. We have the stupidest form of democracy. I like, honestly, we have the stupidest form of democracy in the world. It's the stupidest form. Like, 2 parties, that's stupid. You know why we only have 2 parties? Because of anyways, Pam Bondi is she's able to filibuster and act like this because she's protected by the Republicans. They won't hold her accountable because she's on their team. All right, so here, next one, watch.
I really have just one question for you. How many of Epstein's co-conspirators have you indicted? How many perpetrators are you even investigating?
Right? Department of Justice. How many of Epstein's people have you indicted? How many of them are you... Jeez Louise. How many of them are you investigating? Simple question, right? For the Department of Justice, the head of the Department of Justice, that sounds like a pretty like ballpark question. Something you would ask the Department of Justice. Sounds like it, right? Right? All right.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No, you're going to...
So, that's called filibustering. No, she's not going to answer the question. She's going to argue why she's going to answer the question the way she wants to argue it. Spend all this time being tough, and never answer the question. Just waste the time, right? That's what she's doing.
Answer the question the way I asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people.
How many?
That's her go-to. I'm not going to get in the gutter. Where's her mind? In the gutter. Holy shit. How many people has your Department of Justice indicted in the Epstein files? Oh, I'm not going to get in the gutter with you. What? See, people like that get fired in a functional like government, right? She would be fired. The head of the Department of Justice can't answer a simple question about her agency, about her department. Can't do it. She can't do it. She attacks the questioner instead of answering the question. Like, it's insane, right? It's insane how fucked up Pam Bondi is. It's like she's a pro wrestler, right? Like, really, it's like she's doing a pro wrestling skit. Like, she's on pro wrestling, and she's just playing a character, the kayfabe.
I'm going to answer the question.
How many of you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
the time belongs.
I think it's very
Reclaiming
interesting.
my time.
I think it's very
Reclaiming my
interesting
time.
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time,
about
but
they
reclaiming my time,
indicted.
Mr.
The
Chairman.
president said they
Close the
indicted
clock.
him
Mr.
twice.
Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock
did.
and stop the
he
clock and
indicted-
restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these
Committee will be in order.
theatrics.
The time
Reclaiming my
belongs
time
to the
and
gentleman
roll back
from
the
New
clock,
York.
please.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer.
have just... So I really have
shit.
just one question.
We will give you a few more seconds. We will do that. But when
Reclaiming
you ask
my-
a question, the witness
question
gets to
was-
answer. You may not like the answer, but she
Right.
gets to
The
answer.
question was, how many of Epstein's...
They don't like
What?
the answer,
Reclaiming
Chairman,
my time.
because it's honest.
Reclaiming
So
my-
he asked a
Reclaiming my
4-minute
time.
question.
Restore 45
and
seconds,
I
Mr.
am
Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
Answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch.
Reclaiming-
Not on our time. No way.
Reclaiming-
And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you
You
started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah,
See, they're just eating the time up, just eating it up, like chomp, 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 and Jim Jordan is just happy to let it happen, right? He's a Republican, so Republicans are like Confederates. They don't actually like democracy. For them, it's all just pure power. That's what they're doing. So what they're doing is displays of power. What's going on?
Oh, I did tell you because we
Washed
saw
up
what you did in the
loser
Senate.
Lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
have just... So I really...
So yeah, Jim Jordan's a shithead. Jim Jordan's a shithead.
Once again being raised about the source of some of that damage. Reporter Eli Kuhn has the update.
Oh yeah. So this happened in Eugene. Did you see that cop came up because inside the justice or inside the federal building, some cop came out and smashed out the window. Did you see that? Here, let's go back. Let's look again. Watch the cop inside the building. Watch the cop. Watch this guy right here with his paintball gun. He's gonna smash the window. Watch. All right, no, I'm wrong. It's the guy that's gonna come charging out and do it. And then, yep, and he threw a grenade. So he broke his own window to throw a grenade, and then said, "Oh, look, a broken window. It's a riot. You have to clear out now." The cops made their own riot, or the feds, whatever, the feds.
Once again being raised about the source of some of that damage. Reporter Eli Kuhn has the update.
There's the fed. Break the window. Throw a flashbang.
This video from Jason Anderson, an independent video journalist, appears to show a DHS agent break a window of the federal building in downtown Eugene during a declared riot in January. We've asked DHS for a comment on the possibility glass was broken by an agent, but the agency has not responded. Anderson tells me he saw protesters approach and bang on the walls of the building.
I didn't see a breach take place. I didn't see any specific protesters breaking the windows there. I didn't see anything that was indicative of a physical assault. There was some property damage. I don't know the identities of those few individuals. In the video, it looks like there's about, I don't know, maybe a half dozen protesters that got caught up in the moment and were right at the window. But the majority of them were chanting peacefully.
In a previous statement sent to us by DHS, they said more than 200,000...
Once again being raised about the source of some of...
So, the government lied. The government lied. The government said it was a riot, but they broke the window to make the riot. Pam Bondi, again.
Committee in the country, Congress in the country, like to know if Mr. Brennan is going to be indicted.
So, Mr. Brennan was the CIA director during Trump won, and he under his watch, he said that the Russian the Hunter Biden laptop thing had all the hallmarks of a Russian operation. That the Hunter Biden thing was a Russian operation to smear the Bidens. And that made Donald Trump really angry. That made him really, really mad that he'd get called out by the CIA. So, like, yeah, no one believed him, right? Or no one acted upon it. In fact, the Republicans went all the way with Hunter Biden, right? Didn't they? They went all the way with it. Like, so it was a Russian operation, because the laptop, like, wasn't actually a laptop. It was just a hard drive, and it wasn't actually a hard drive. It was an image of a hard drive. So anywhere along those steps, those conversions, you could have added stuff or removed stuff. Like, but Republicans didn't care because they could use it. They tried to use it to go after Joe Biden. And when they couldn't get Joe Biden, they went after Hunter Biden. And what did they get Hunter Biden on? What's the one thing they got him on? Owning a gun when he was a felon. Like, how many other people have done that? Lots of people. So that's the only thing. And the felony was because of drug addiction. So it wasn't like a violent felon. He was a felon from drugs. So like, it was all overblown, but that was the whole point of it, right? It was a Russian operation. So Donald Trump was really, really angry. So he's trying to, because he controls Pam Bondi, he told her to go after all of his enemies. He went after, so the Department of Justice went after James Comey, Letitia James. It went after a whole bunch of Democrats, all his former enemies. He's sending the Department of Justice after. So they want to go after the CIA guy Brennan. So this is Jim Jordan asking that the Department of Justice, the Attorney General, the head of the Department of Justice, if they go after Donald Trump's enemy, Brennan.
What I can confirm is that we have received a referral from you, Chairman Jordan, to investigate John Brennan. His attorneys have made some public statements, but the department is still bound, of course, by our longstanding policy of not discussing matters. What I will say today, I can't confirm nor deny whether there is a pending investigation, but what
what the fuck was that? I can neither confirm nor deny. Sorry.
I will say is no one is above the law.
Whatever, dude. That's so funny. How many Epstein conspirators has she indicted? 0. How many is she investigating? 0. No one is above the law. See, her whole existence is a mockery of the way things should be. Like that's what's so funny. Like she's just making a mockery of it. She has no idea about anything. That's why she has a binder full of insults. That binder is just insults to dish out at Democrats who ask her any questions. So she filibusters all the Democrats and then gets lauded by the Republicans. So
Mr. Chairman,
weaponization has ended.
Weaponization has ended? Weaponization has begun. She's the head of weaponization. She's going after all of Donald Trump's enemies. What do you mean? So that's what's so funny. She's declaring that it's begun. That's the funny thing about these fascists, is that, like, they can't help but project their power. So they'll try to be slick about it, but come on, everyone knows what you're saying.
Yeah. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman from New York is recognized for a point of order.
If we want to know whether Mr. Brennan will be indicted, you should just ask the president.
Not a point of order, but
right? Because she only does what the president wants. She only does what Donald Trump wants. If Donald Trump wants her to go after his enemies, she will. It's that simple. It's that easy. So she's not independent. The Attorney General is supposed to be independent. The Attorney General is supposed to be the firewall between the Department of Justice and the President. Because they want the Department of Justice to be independent to go after justice wherever it sees fit, without taint or influence from the President. That's what the Attorney General is supposed to be, is the firewall. But in this case, the Attorney General is the employee of Donald Trump. She works for him. She ensures the Department of Justice does what he wants. She's not a firewall at all. She's a virus. She corrupted it. So that's why like a ton of people quit the Department of Justice, because they're like, we'd rather like not work here if it's going to be like this. All right. Now, there was a point that came up with Representative Ted Lieu. I think he's from Redondo Beach or Torrance. Oh no, there's my phone. I can't answer right now, but you know, that's cool. I'm gonna keep going. Ted Lieu. He caught Pam Bondi in a perjury trap. Watch as Pam Bondi perjures herself.
I love this.
I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's the video.
Ghislaine Maxwell in the background.
Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
So the question was, were there any underage girls at that party or any other party that Donald Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein? That's the question.
This is so ridiculous. And
who is all over the Epstein files.
Whoa.
Like former Prince. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
That party? Are there any underage girls at that party or any party that Donald Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein? To the head of the Department of Justice. Look at her. Look at her.
this is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been.
We asked you if he ever attended a party with underage girls. What are you talking about? It'd be easy to say no. It'd be easy. Why don't
In the most transparent presidency, he's the one that asked that those files.
I'm reclaiming my time. I got your answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock.
Please
stop the clock.
The legislation. This is
Time
ridiculous.
time belongs to the gentleman from California.
It's a WWF or a WWE performance. It's a wrestling performance. She's doing a wrestling promo. Just look at her, dude. It's awful. It's crazy.
California.
Okay.
Now watch.
I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you. Here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop the limo and hurt Donald Trump. and he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
Right? So it's like the weirdest thing that, like, we live in the weirdest world, because like a major participant in an elite sex trafficking ring became president. And I know, and like, he got there with the help from Russia, so he's beholden to Vladimir Putin. Jeffrey Epstein contacted the Russians, was in contact with the Russians months before the Helsinki meeting. And Jeffrey Epstein passed along videos of Donald Trump to Vladimir Putin right before the Helsinki meeting. That's why when Donald Trump leaves that Helsinki meeting and comes out of that meeting, he looks wrecked. He looks totally shaken. And then that's why he has no problem denigrating the United States and praising Russia on the world stage, because he had just seen blackmail, his own blackmail. Remember, Donald Trump is a failed businessman. He went bankrupt because he bankrupted a bunch of casinos. The only reason Donald Trump had any money was because the Russians bailed him out, and he became their money launderer. So here's a picture of Pam Bondi refusing to look at any of the survivors. She just won't look at them. She won't even look at them. And yeah, there's a dude there because he's there for his sister who committed suicide. So she can't be there, But yeah, Pam Bondi got handed the Epstein files, and she fucking spent her time redacting Donald Trump's name out of it, so you couldn't find it inside the Epstein files. But Jamie Raskin, Congressman Raskin, got to see the Epstein files, unredacted version, and he said Donald Trump's name is in there 1 million times. It might as well be the Trump Epstein files.
The reason that she wants to continue to talk about Minnesota, which we will all day long, is she doesn't want to talk about her own jurisdiction in Atlanta, because she doesn't want to talk about Christopher Welcher, who traveled.
You see her, so instead of answering the question, what she does is she reads out of her binder here filibuster material. So which is opposition research of Democrats. So instead of answering the question, she just reads bad information about the Democrat instead. So look at her, watch her read it, because
across state lines to try to meet, and nothing's funny about this, to meet and molest a 14-year-old girl in Georgia. That's why they're watching the clock, the American people should know, for the second it runs out, because they don't want to address anything in their jurisdiction. They're elected to represent people in their jurisdiction. We prosecuted illegal aliens who ran a large-scale meth operation in the Atlanta metro area.
You understand we don't prosecute, right, Ms. Bondi?
Madam Attorney General.
I'm the law.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Mr. McClintock.
So yes, the statistics I spoke of earlier.
She just went off on bullshit, right? She just wasted all his time, and she was watching the clock to see how much time she could waste. Because that's all she's doing. She won't answer any questions. She was reading out of her binder, prepared information to just not answer anything. That's their strategy, Republicans.
This is a big cover-up. And this administration is engaged in it. In fact, this administration is complicit.
So one thing they do, the Republicans do, is Pam Bondi won't answer any questions from Democrats. So Democrats just start giving speeches. And then Republicans would give their time to Pam Bondi, who would then attack the Democrats, who then couldn't say anything back because it wasn't their time. Right? Like, dirty pool, dude, dirty pool. These Republicans are terrible.
But there are numerous others, like how the DOJ is attempting to obstruct justice in the investigation of the rogue agents who have murdered American citizens, or how the DOJ seized voter data from Fulton County in an attempt to steal the 2026 midterm elections, or how federal agents have Tom Homan on tape accepting a bribe and your agency killed the investigation, or how your agency is ready to give the president a $230 million payday, which is unconstitutional. The Constitution is clear. The president shall not receive any payment except his salary while in office. The fact of the matter is that you will be remembered as one of the worst attorney generals in history. An attorney general who has prioritized obstruction over justice, corruption over the law, fealty to the president over loyalty to the Constitution. And Mr. Chairman, I will yield.
Gentlelady yields. Gentleman from Missouri is recognized. Excuse me, gentleman from Kansas, the Attorney General, former Attorney General, Mr. Schmidt is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and General Bondi, thanks for being here. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we talk?
I do. Thank you, Congressman. Thank you, my friend, for many years. I find it interesting that she didn't.
She's going to start reading her opposition research.
Even want to try, Congresswoman Crockett, to ask any questions.
Look at that shit. Look at that shit. She's the Attorney General. Look at that shit. Man, she's like a pro wrestler. I swear to God. Look at the way she moves. She's a pro wrestler. This is pro wrestling to them. Like, it's terrible, man, what they've done.
Because she certainly did not condemn her leader, Hakeem Jeffries, for taking money from Jeffrey Epstein after Epstein was convicted. And I will be brief to give you your time, Congressman. This is what she didn't want to talk about. Texas, from Cuba, convicted, homicide, arson, weapon offense.
Convicted. So what we talking about? Convict
Texas,
some of these perpetrators that rape these women that are sitting behind you, that you refuse to even acknowledge they are here.
Time belongs to the gentleman from Kansas.
Mr. Chairman, could I have a few seconds back to make up for the yelling? Thank you.
See, you see how much time the chairman gives back to Republicans for the littlest interruptions, but she can drain all their info or all their time, and the chairman won't give anything back. Dirty pool.
Did you have anything further to say?
Texas, convicted of homicide. Cecil Joseph, from Dominican Republic. Texas, convicted for kidnapping.
So
rape.
she's just picking like criminals and blaming blaming
Khalid Khan
whoever
from Afghanistan.
to fuel her ethnic cleansing campaign.
Another photograph for you to take a look at. These are notes that the Attorney General brought to the hearing today. Okay, it was captured by a photographer who was in the room. And this shows a list of Democratic Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, you saw her in some of those clips, of her search history. And this, of course, lawmakers are allowed now to go to a DOJ facility, to sit down at a computer and to search unredacted files. We have learned from this photo that the searches that members of Congress are performing are apparently being tracked and then read by the Department of Justice, by the Attorney General.
They're being spied on.
What do you make of that development?
So in other words, the Trump administration is spying on the congressmen or the Congress people who go view the unredacted Epstein files. That's the spying.
Well, it's a surveillance of Congress by the Trump administration. It's wholly improper.
Yep. It's totally improper. That's the nicest way of putting it. Improper. What's this? Oh, I don't know. It disappeared. There it goes. Oh yeah, Donald Trump's hand. Look at his hand. Look at his hand. That is makeup. All that's makeup. That's big fat splotch of makeup on his hand to cover up the bruise from the IVs he gets in his hands for Alzheimer's or some other disease like that where you need like multiple infusions all the time. His hands will never heal because he has to always keep getting IVs in his hands for this disease that he's like, it's either Alzheimer's or something else. His father had dementia. So if it's at all hereditary, he's getting to that age where he's going to have dementia too. So maybe they're giving him infusions to stop the dementia. I don't know. But Donald Trump is pretty gone mentally. So the last video clip I have is this one here. This is both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell invoking the fifth, saying, "Oh, we're not going to answer this question. It's self-incriminating." When they're asked, did Donald Trump have any sexual relations with girls?
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Are you aware of Donald Trump ever engaging in sexual activity with an individual introduced to him by you or Jeffrey Epstein?
I invoke my 5th Amendment right to silence.
Have you ever socialized?
Well, Ghislaine Maxwell wants a pardon from Donald Trump. So he's treating her real nice by putting her in a one of the posh prisons. But he hasn't given her a pardon yet. And Congress has tried to interview her, and she's like, "I won't talk until you give me a pardon." And I'm pretty sure she knows Donald Trump will have her killed if she says anything. Just like he killed Jeffrey Epstein. Alright, well, this is that Chinese shader. It's pretty nice. I dig it. I like it. Like, I guess the flicking shadows really got to me with the rethinking voxels. But like, this has like issues too. Like, oh man, it's hard to see, right? Like, here, let's go up here. So that was today. That was Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, at the House Oversight Committee, filibustering every question from Democrats, refusing to answer anything about the Epstein files. It's all crazy. So, okay. So real quick, then, this is the summary of everything today. Kevin M. Cruz said, so, to wrap up today's insanity, President Trump, who is deeply implicated in a pedophilia scandal involving his best friend, the sex trafficker, sent Attorney General Bondi, who only has that job because Trump's first choice was also implicated in a separate pedophilia scandal, to the House to stonewall releasing the full files about the president's pedophile friend, relying there on the friendly support of House Judiciary Committee Chairman Rep. Jim Jordan, who was himself implicated in a cover-up of a third sexual abuse scandal at a college. Cool. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. It's crazy. That's a really bright moon. The moon is so bright. But you see how crazy everything is, right? It's just fucking crazy. Here, what else can I say? I can look at my thing, right? Here, what do I got here? Oh yeah. So Trump, government report came out. Where's that at? The Congressional Budget Office report came out about Donald Trump's tariffs. And the Congressional Budget Office said that American people paid about 95% of the tariffs. And the rest of it was like paid by whatever. But for the most part, Americans were the ones who pay for the tariffs. So the Trump tariffs are really a Trump tax. Everything you buy is more expensive because Donald Trump wants it to be more expensive. And you pay 95% of the Trump tax. There was a British guy who moved to Texas, and his daughter came to visit him. And his daughter and him got in a fight about Donald Trump. The daughter said Donald Trump was bad, and he was a MAGA. He loves Donald Trump. So he invited her upstairs in his house, and he fucking shot her. He killed his own daughter because she didn't like Donald Trump. Let's see. Okay, so an ICE guy yesterday went up before the oversight committee. I think it was that. I don't know which committee it was. Dude. And asked, how many people has ICE arrested in Minneapolis? And the guy said 300, or was it Minneapolis? Maybe total arrests. I don't know. Maybe it's just, or Minnesota. And he responded 379,000 arrests. And of those 379,000 arrests, 8,700 of them were suspected gang members or suspected terrorists. That's 2%. So they arrested hundreds of thousands of people in order to get 2% to find 2% of the suspected drug dealers or criminals. They arrested tons of innocent people just to find a few criminals. Man, that seems a bit wrong. Like, it's inefficient. Like a bad use of resources. Like, everyone gets their rights violated. You murdered 2 Americans, and for what? For barely anything. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you know who's not in the Epstein files? George Soros. George Soros. I hear Republicans, right-wingers, always blame the boogeyman, George Soros! George Soros! For everything. But did you find George Soros in the Epstein files? No. I think Peter Thiel is in the Epstein files, and he's a billionaire. Elon Musk is in the Epstein files. He's definitely a billionaire. He's the world's richest Nazi. So yeah, that's what happened today. I think that's pretty important that Americans get to see with their own eyes and hear with their own ears about the cover-up that the Trump team is doing of Jeffrey Epstein. And if you've got to think, right? They're not just covering up Jeffrey Epstein. They're also covering up Russia. And then you got to think, what else are they covering up? So yeah, again, this is iteration RP. It's a Chinese shader. It costs like $1.50. But you have to use a Chinese or like some kind of like shady website. I don't know if it's shady or not, but you have to use a website that I don't know anything about. And give them your financial details. If it's even possible. Maybe you can't even buy it. I don't know. There's a free version of it that you can get, but like it's not any better than what's already out there. Boom shaka. Well, I definitely need torches here. Boom. So yeah. What's the story? The story is in 1965 America was reborn into a nation dedicated to the pursuit of human ideals. Truth, justice, and liberty for all. But that rankled the Confederates. The spirit of the Confederacy was never truly defeated. They may have lost their territory, but they never lost their spirit. And they slowly cobbled together like a lich their consciousness back together again into territory that they can hold politically. And then until they could accrue enough power to corrupt the legal system and take over the country from within, bum bum bum, with the help of Russia, bum bum bum. So the Confederates basically allied with Russia to overthrow the United States. And now they're engaged in ethnic cleansing and beginning to create huge concentration camps, which will turn into death camps once the diseases start spreading. That's their plan, at least. Hopefully, we can defeat them, because electorally they're poison. No one likes them. They're losing all of their elections, so they're going to try to find a way to overthrow or corrupt the upcoming election so they can hold on to power. And like, there's lots of like different ways they can do it. Like the Republican Congress can just refuse to do it to certify the results. The individual like Republican-controlled counties could rebel. Well, what Donald Trump is doing right now is going off the word of a disgraced lawyer. They seized the voting machines in Georgia. Remember Georgia? That's the state that Donald Trump tried to steal in 2020. We have a recording of him saying, "Hey, I need you to find me enough votes so I can win this state." And the guy's like, "No, I'm not going to do it." But Donald Trump wanted him to, and now that he's in power, Donald Trump has sent the FBI to seize the voting machines to retroactively make him win Georgia. But really, I think this is about controlling the election in 2026. Because, I mean, big deal. Like, it doesn't matter anything if you retroactively win Georgia. What matters is that he has control of Georgia voting system for 2026. So he can make it say whatever he wants. Because Donald Trump is a fucking dictator, dude. He's evil. Fuck Donald Trump. And fuck all the people that support Donald Trump. You fucking idiots. Making me watch those fucking hours of government fucking testimony. Yeah, the United States, when it holds true to its ideals, is pretty fucking cool. And there's a lot of Americans who do believe in that and hold on to those ideals. You can see it in Minneapolis. You can see it in all these occupied cities. Memphis. You can see it in LA. You see it in Portland. You see it. The people believe in the spirit. Maybe the leaders have given up, but the people still believe in it. That's why I think the elections are going to be like our key, because that's always like the people speaking. That's where the power comes from. But yeah, the people need to speak, because we're heading down a dark path right now. Like, I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of this without violence. When Ukraine kicked out its corrupt president, Russia invaded and took Crimea. And it took months and months and months of sustained protest under gunfire for them to force out the Russian puppet. So, like, with our Russian puppet, I don't know, like, if we can handle months and months and months of sustained fucking gunfire, armed conflict. I don't know if I want to, right? That's some gnarly shit, dude. Stalagmites make it hard to walk. Back where I started. We should think about what kind of government we want if we could rewrite it. If we could make any kind of changes we want to make a better government, a better functioning government, to put in more democracy, what would that look like? And I think one way we could do it is by eliminating the Senate. The Senate is, well, the Senate was a compromise for the smaller states, because the smaller states were afraid they would get swamped out by the larger states. But what that's done in practice at the end of 250 years is provided a way to exploit, to have the minority hold power over the majority through exploiting the power of the Senate for the minority to have extra power. So you only need, like, I think it's something like 41 of the senators, Republican senators, 41 of the Republican senators represent like 10% of the American population. Like, it's that out of balance. If you only need to capture 10% of the population in order to get 41% of the Senate, like, that's incredible. That's like the opposite of democracy. That's not representative at all. That's the very opposite. That creates like an elite kingmakers that have extra power over everyone else. Yeah, you can't be having. That's why I want to get rid of the Senate. And then I would make the House of Representatives way bigger, like 10,000 representatives. Because when you have 10,000 representatives, it's a lot harder to bribe some people. And then when you do how are you going to gerrymander? How do you do gerrymandering when you have so many representatives? Each district is going to be so small. Like, districts inside of a city are going to be like a neighborhood. like your block. I'm the representative, the federal representative of my block. That's awesome. But yeah, you can't gerrymander when it's that many, when you have that many representatives. And then, yeah, make our vote stronger. This first past the post voting system, fucking terrible. Because it devolves into a two-party system. Every time. Duverger's law says a first past the post system always devolves to two parties. That's the natural logic of it. If you want multiple parties, which we do, then you have to make our vote stronger. And you do that with ranked choice voting. Instead of just choosing one person out of a big field, you rank them. That way you can vote for who you really want without hurting the ones that, aren't so bad. Because right now, under first past the post, if you vote third party, you will hurt the party you're closest to and help the party you're furthest from. Isn't that stupid? Isn't that dumb? Like, you can't have a movement then. It turns it into an all or nothing thing. It devolves to two parties. It's stupid. Ranked choice is something we have to do. So let's assume that we're able to magically change stuff. Like, what else could we change? I think we could change the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, it's corrupt right now. And you could take the whole nation hostage just by corrupting 5 people. Enough to take over the court. 5 people. You only need to corrupt 5 people for life. And you have them for life. You own them for life. How stupid is that? There should be term limits on the judges. And it should be a ginormous panel. If it's the Supreme Court, it should be a big panel. Like 21 judges. That way you can't corrupt a few judges and then take over the whole court. And plus, since it's a term limit, like, it doesn't matter anyways. Any corrupt judges are going to get swept out eventually anyways. So that keeps the judiciary clean from corruption. All sorts of things we can do to make changes, to make our government better and make it a stronger, better democracy, a more perfect union. All sorts of things, because that's what we want, right? We all want to come together and live together in peace. We all want the same thing. Like maybe there's some billionaires out there who are naturally sociopaths, and they want to accumulate wealth and power, and they will hurt other people in order to do it. Well, those guys are fucking crazy and weird. It's like, I don't know why we ever made billionaires into special people. They're bad people. They shouldn't even exist. So, anyways. Alright, that will conclude my little rant for today. I just wanted you to see with your own eyes about the corruption in the Trump administration. The Attorney General is protecting Jeffrey Epstein and his associates and refuses to even acknowledge the survivors. Won't even look at them. Won't even look at them. Filibusters every time the Democrats ask her anything. Like, it doesn't matter, right? She views her demeanor is more akin to a professional wrestler than it is to the Attorney General. So, alright, until next time, peace. Bogo Kiddo out. Stop.